So let's talk about companion. What interested you in playing these parts? I'll start with you, Harvey.
I love the idea that this character was not, one dimension. It was just like layers to him that I could play with. Coming off of doing comedy for the majority of my career, it was nice to start off with that and make you drop your guard with this character with Eli, and then showing you that sometimes things aren't what they seem, and we can't judge a book by its cover. But also, I like that he was, it was sweet and tortured in a way where he just wanted to love, and sometimes that's not enough. You have everything at your fingertips,
Mm,
and when you have what you ask for, you don't accept it still.
Mm.
So you got to be careful what you ask for, because when it presents itself, you have to be ready to accept it. Yeah.
interesting. I like that. How about you, Lucas?
I was struggling to meet a quota for my agency. Make a We're at the same agent.
I was on the line.
So they were like, "You got to get a job, or you're out of here." And then I read the script.
Smile too wasn't enough.
You would be surprised. I
Smile can only take
smile
you
can only get you enough. I just fell in love with the script, though, and I thought every character in this script was layered, and I just got like Southern for a second. Was layered, but they also had everyone had both good and bad qualities, and no one was overly judged or stereotyped. It felt like just nuanced and layered, and that really excited me.
And Megan she's a delicious character.
Yes.
So tell me about playing her.
Yeah, she's really the first adult I've played, which has been very exciting to explore and kind of jump into that realm. But I loved all aspects of Kat, and she's not a character that I would necessarily completely identify with, but I do love the fact that she owns her messiness and she owns who she is, and especially towards the end of the movie, she's really the only voice of reason in this bizarre plot. And I think we need that person that still feels like they have their head on somewhat right. So that was really cool to play.
Yeah, Eli kind of falls apart a little bit, I think, in there.
Yeah,
I think everybody falls apart.
Everyone falls apart, but he does fall apart more than we would expect him to.
Yeah,
because it was just
literally
comes undone, and we just see that's when he does turn into that darkness. That unfortunately, he goes down that path, so his moral compass gets a little swayed.
So I want to know what you think these characters, what role they play in Josh's life, per se. I'm going to start with you, Megan, this time.
Yeah, I think Kat, Josh is just kind of existing and is sort of like, I don't think Kat pays too much mind to Josh. They've all been really good friends for a long time. I think Drew and we talked a little bit about how they must have been college friends, and that's kind of where they hit it off. But I think to Josh, Kat holds a lot more value than I think Josh holds in Kat's life. And it's a little bit of it's not really a symbiotic relationship. I think Kat knows how to sort of manipulate people and use people to her advantage. And I think Josh might just have a lot of unrequited feelings for Kat that he will never get in return.
Very true. Lucas, what does Patrick bring to Josh?
Do you ever have one of those acquaintances when you go to dinner with them with a big group that they just don't really look at you or talk to you when you're talking? That's kind of like what Patrick is to Josh.
Very good. I like that explanation. Eli. I'm sorry, Harvey. What is Eli?
He's so good in the character.
Thank you.
He's so good, he just becomes it.
He does.
I think Eli is a long time friend. They grew up together. To Josh, they grew up together, and they both come from the same background of like neighborhoods and kind of buddy. And him exploring his queerness might have been one of the first people. Josh would have been one of the first people he came out to, and since then probably bonded, and now they have this like friendship as they get older. But they don't really know each other that well, apparently, because you think you know somebody. And the story that I gave myself with Eli was that, well, you really don't know people. Like I see them as being best friends since they're little. They grow up together, they junior high and high school and college, and you still don't know this person. You would never imagine they would do something like this. And that just goes to show you don't know what you think you know about somebody.